Let me just say a few things. One is I know our record is not what it is, but we have gotten better. From watching the tape versus Virginia, we have gotten better. We've improved. We're a better team than what we've been. Offensively, it's the best we've been in our 4 years here. Pace of play, we've been the best. We're shooting the ball the best we've been. We're scoring the best we've been. And everyone here knows me that I'm a guy that looks at things glasses overflowing, so I'm always going to look at in an optimist. I do know our record hasn't showed to what it is. Yes, that hurt us in that November-December period without Jose. Yes, we've had 3 of our last home games. It's hard not to win those home games, and we we had opportunities to win the game. We played well versus Duke, we played well versus Notre Dame, and we played well versus Virginia. We had, the bottom line that cost us in all 3 games was our turnovers and second chance opportunities for the opponent. So those are the 2 areas we have to clean up. We're still, a top 30 defensive team in the country, but the 2 areas we have to clean up are turnovers and defensive rebounding. And that's what we're now locking in on. And if we can lock in on that and clean those 2 things up, we just got to get over that hump. And all I can tell you, that's life in the ACC, where you can play well and improve, and you can still have an opportunity to lose a game, and that happened to us last week. And now we've got a very good, team. We play Wednesday. Chris Mack's one of the best coaches in the country, and they got great players. I had said in the preseason, I thought they're a surefire lock to play in Atlanta. That's how good I thought Louisville is. And so it will give us a great challenge and test, and we'll have to be ready to go. And I thought on Saturday, like I said, we scored, we shot the ball well versus Virginia, and we haven't shot like that versus Virginia in a long time. Moses, he's been really good for us, Moses. He's been really consistent and been at a high level. He did not play well on Saturday, and obviously that hurts us because we're dependent and counting on Moses to be really good night in, night out. And that's kind of where he's become, he's one of our best guys, one of the best guys in the league. So when he has an off game, it makes it really hard, and you include that with those early turnovers. We ended up with 17 or 18 turnovers, but about 6 were in the first 5-6 minutes of the game, and that's the difference right there. When we had some opportunities to be up maybe 10-4, 8-2, 10-12-6, we didn't capitalize because we had those early 6-7 turnovers in the first 5-6 minutes of the game versus Virginia.
Going back to Moses, I think you said after the game that you saw that maybe part of the difficulty was the physical play. Can you go into that a little more?
Well, I thought Virginia was very physical, and that's just part of Moses' growth and development. Is continue to embrace that, and he's got to continue to be really good even against physicality, and he has. I thought the physicality bothered him a little bit on Saturday, but that's part of his growth and improvement and development, and continue to get better in that and stuff like that, and he will. He's come a long way, Rod. So, but there's a reason Virginia came in the game as the number 1 defensive team in the country.
Right.
They are the number 1 defensive team in the country, and there's a reason for that. We're not the only team that they've been physical with. They do that every time they play, and that's where I said before the game, and I said it to Andy Dementor too, if we scored 60, we win the game. And if we scored 60, we win, even though, because obviously we had a foul towards the end. But we got to 58. If we had got to 60, and we probably, and because Moses has been such a counter for us, he had a one-off game, we didn't, that wasn't probably factored in. He's been really good for us for that time period.
You just mentioned health.
Yeah, I don't know on Michael DeVoe. Jose's got back spasms. He is practicing. Michael DeVoe did not practice. We are getting him checked out. He's got a foot issue, so I don't know. His status is to be determined. It will all come back. I won't know until later tonight, maybe even by tomorrow if he'll even be able to play Wednesday, and/or if it's a longer-term deal than that. Evan Cole is out for today's practice. He had hurt his arm. If I could have done it over again, I probably should have subbed him out on those free throws, and had some. Obviously I don't get to choose that. Coach Bennett would have chosen who to shoot the free throws. But I asked him. He said he was okay, but then he came and said he couldn't feel his arm. So that falls on me. I should have made him come out because he said his arm was numb, and he said he's having trouble feeling it right now. So, but he's out today. He should be a go for Wednesday though.
In terms of if Michael can't go, is that Khalid and Asante deal?
Yeah, I mean, the next guy's got to be ready to go, whether that's Khalid, Asante, Shabari, everyone's just got to be ready to go.
Are you concerned about Jose being available? Is that-
He's practicing, so he'll be fine. But he does have his back was bothering him. He got hit in the back or back spasms, but he'll be fine. I mean, Jose, unless the doctors say he can't play, he's going to play.
Looking at the film and in reference to turnovers, is there any one or two things you can put your finger on as to why they're happening?
I told our guys this before practice. Hey man, the turnovers on you guys because we spend so much time. The turnovers they're self-inflicted, unforced. There's nothing with I mean, we've got to clean that up, and we spend so much time at it. We've improved on our offense. Defensively, we've got to be better in some areas, and I said that's on me. We haven't spent enough time on that lately in some certain areas defensively in our coverages and stuff. I said, but offensively in those turnovers, I'm putting that on you guys because they're just really unforced errors, and we just got to take an increased level of personal accountability on just not making those unnecessary turnovers, unforced errors, and if we can clean that up and clean up our defensive rebounding, I really believe we can get over the hump, Rod. We are better than our record. We are the best we've been in 4 years. We're better than our record. I know people say, well, you are what your record are. I get that. It's a scoreboard game. You get determined on what you do in the wins and losses. I'm not denying that. I just know we're better, and we're really close. And if we can clean those two areas up, we will turn the corner.
Outside of the turnovers, you gotta be a little bit happy with the offense that shot 50% versus Virginia and 11 of 18 in the first half.
Well, our offense has been really good. I think in conference play, am I right, Moose? We're top 7 or top 6 in the ACC in offensive production. We're in conference play. We have the fastest paced team. We're one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the country. Besides last game, or in the league. Besides last game, we've been a really good free throw shooting team since the start of Hawaii. So we've really gotten better offensively. And so I am happy about that. We just got to clean up those turnovers and defensive rebounding. And the turnovers had gone down, but the Virginia ones at first 4 or 5 minutes of the game bit us in the rear.
And obviously going to Louisville is no easy feat, but considering they forced the least amount of turnovers in the ACC, do you think this is something they can you guys can maybe take advantage of?
Well, we just got to, whether a team forces or not, a lot of our turnovers have been some self-inflicted wounds. And of course, you got to give credit to the defenses. But we just, we're going to have to be really smart and tough with the ball.
I imagine you feel like you can't catch a break right now with guys banged up and you can't, close losses.
Well, yeah, the bang up thing really hurt us with Jose. That really hurt us. But the close losses, because I wish the result was there to show the backup of what I'm saying. And I understand it's hard to see that in sports. If the win's not there, and so we do need some wins, but we have still, look, there's 12 conference games remaining, and there's a lot to be said for, and let's see what happens over these next, 12 games, 12 conference games.
How do you feel that the team's responding to that? Is their energy down?
No, we've had a great practice. Guys are upbeat. They've been good. It's my responsibility to continue to keep them. Look, how many times in our 4 years here, we get down and guys fight their way back. Guys have played hard for me and for Georgia Tech every time, and that's all you can ask for. We just got to clean up some of those areas. But our guys have battled, they've competed, they've been tough, and they've been a great group. They've been resilient, and that's why I really want that result to go our way. Because I see it, I know it, I feel it, that we're getting better. We just, on the scoreboard, we just need to have one more point than the opponent, and we've lost our last 3 home games. Have been some tough losses for us, that we've had opportunities to win the game.
Where do you see Moses now compared to when you first laid eyes on him?
Yeah, Steve, Steve, and look, I've said it, he was a 0-star recruit. He came in here, and versus North Carolina, he played 20 seconds. His freshman year, he came in, he didn't block a shot, I took him right out, and I had to yell at him. 2 years later, or 2.5 years later, he's playing basically the whole game, and he might have been the best player on the floor. And his improvement, his development, one, the assistant coaches get a tremendous amount of credit. The assistant coaches have done a great job in developing, in having him develop. And then Moses has done a great job on maturing, on buying in, and not making excuses. I thought his freshman year he made a lot of excuses and played the blame game and the victim game, whereas now he takes responsibility, and his transformation between where he started and where he is now, that is what makes my job fun and rewarding and gratifying, is to see that development, not only as a basketball player, but he's done the same way as a young man. And it's a real testament to Moses.
Well, you may have answered this question with that one. What, the biggest challenge that you had with him, was it?
Well,
that, or
it was biggest challenge was motor. Biggest challenge was effort. Biggest challenge was, not making excuses. Biggest challenge was wanting to embrace the work ethic. Now I don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. I mean, he's bought into all those. I mean, he plays hard. He's got a motor. He stays after every practice and works on his game. He's embraced, think of this step on Wednesday or Saturday after the game. He stayed in the locker room. Everyone left. He stayed in, and his head towels over his head. And I said, "You okay?" And I said, "You want to talk or something?" And he says, "Coach, I'm just so mad at myself for the way I played tonight." He says, "I'm so mad at myself." And he texted me yesterday the same thing. He says, "Coach, I let the team down. I didn't play to the standard that you set for me." Moses Wright would never have been like that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That accountability and that feel that he has it's just another universe than where he's been.
So he played tennis, which is kind of an individual sport and stuff. I imagine there was probably a learning curve into.
Well, he played tennis and he's a great swimmer.
Yeah, which are individual.
But he's starting to learn what it takes to be a championship level student athlete, not Wednesday and Thursday and then the other 5, but Monday through Sunday. A championship level student athlete 7 days a week. He's starting to get into that. Now, we might not see the finished product of Moses until he's past here. We might not get the full benefits of that, to be honest with you. His best basketball is in front of him. We might not see that, when he's 24, he's not going to be here. That's when things might even take off even more. And we might not get that full benefit. But we're going to get the full benefit of this year and then obviously for next season.
When he was first brought to your attention, did you kind of need to be convinced that he was someone you guys want to recruit?
Yes. Yeah. And someone called us, the AAU coach called us, Dwayne West, and he called us, let us know, and then we went and evaluated him. Daryl LeBerry had seen him, and then he came on a visit, and we were struggling to get guys at that time. You think about it, and that was our first year. And it was after the season, and we needed a little size too. But we all felt that he was going to be good down the road through development.
Right.
Now, his freshman year, there's many times I just don't know if it's going to work itself out here.
Right.
But he stuck with it. He stayed the course, and it's worked itself out. And it's a great testament on why there's 4 years, why we believe in development, why we believe in 5-star development and everything that we're doing, and it's a great testament to Moses.
Jose made the comment after the Virginia game that he thinks that without the turnovers, that this could be a championship team. Is that something that you agree?
Well, I want us to be a championship level program, and I really believe we're close to turning the corner. And the good thing is, I believe right now, any game we're in, we're good enough talent-wise that we can go win. It hasn't always been the case. We now can maybe go win every game. Now we've got to go play well. We've got to do all those other things, but I really believe we're close. But I know we are. We're just better. Our record doesn't do us justice. The two things we've got. It's the defensive rebounding and turnovers. That's the whole deal right now. We've got to lower those two numbers, or the opponent's offensive rebounding. When I say defensive rebounding,
Is that optimism? I know it's because of what you've seen on offense, but is it reminding you of another team where
no, I just know. As you sit in my chair, I just know when we're getting better. I know what we're capable of, and those turnovers are self-inflicted. We gotta, if we weren't shooting well, that's but we're shooting the ball well. Our pace of play is effective. We're the number one in conference play, fastest tempo. We're moving the ball better. We're scoring better. we're transitioning offense better. We're just, it's those turnovers. That number's got to come down, and we can't be giving teams extra possessions on the glass. Because of our strength offensively now, we've become a pretty good offensive team for this point since the start of the Hawaii trip. We can't give away possessions because we're a pretty good offensive team. We're giving out opportunities away to score based on those two things.
Which they